There comes a moment in everyone's life when they look in the mirror and notice something different. A tiny wrinkle that wasn't there before. A strand of gray hair that catches the light. A softness around the eyes that speaks not of weakness, but of years. And for a second, many of us panic. We try to hide it, to fix it, to erase it, as if time were an enemy sneaking up behind us. But what if instead of fighting time, we chose to welcome it? What if growing older wasn't a loss but a gift? The truth is, growing older gracefully isn't about looking young forever. It's about feeling whole at every stage of life. See, every wrinkle tells a story. It's a map of laughter, tears, sleepless nights, hard lessons, and silent victories. Those lines are proof that you have lived. They're not flaws. They're your personal timeline. And yet we live in a world that tells us to fight aging, to stay young, to cover our years as if they were something to be ashamed of. But imagine this. A flower doesn't apologize when it blooms, fades, and blooms again. The sky doesn't try to stay morning forever. It transforms into evening and then into night, each phase beautiful in its own way. Why should we, the most complex creations of all, fear the natural rhythm of our own lives? Aging gracefully means learning to accept that beauty doesn't fade. It evolves. The glow of youth may dim, but it's replaced by a deeper light, the light of wisdom, of calm, of knowing who you are. The energy that once went into chasing perfection begins to turn inward, nurturing peace instead. You start to realize that it's not about how the world sees you. It's about how you see yourself. You start noticing the simple things again. The warmth of morning sunlight, the sound of laughter, the comfort of familiar faces. And somewhere along the way, you begin to understand that time is not stealing anything from you. It's giving you something you could never have when you were young: perspective. It teaches you what truly matters and what never did. It teaches you that beauty is not skin deep. It's soul deep. It's in the way you carry yourself, in your confidence, in your calmness, and in the kindness that shines from your eyes. When you stop running from time and start walking with it, life feels lighter. You begin to breathe differently, to live with more presence. You realize that you don't need to look 20 again to feel alive. You are alive now. And that is more powerful than any illusion of eternal youth. Growing older gracefully is not about giving up. It's about letting go. Letting go of the need to prove, to compete, to chase what was never meant to last. It's about standing tall in your truth, knowing that every chapter of your life adds a new shade to your soul. You no longer measure beauty in smooth skin or shiny hair. You measure it in stories, in laughter, in strength. So the next time you see a wrinkle, don't rush to hide it. Smile at it, because it means you've lived enough to earn it. It means you've felt deeply, loved truly, and survived beautifully. And that, more than anything, is what makes you timeless. As the years pass, something begins to change, not just in how you look, but in how you see. In your younger days, everything feels like a race. You rush to prove yourself, to impress others, to chase the next goal, the next dream, the next version of success. But as you grow older, you start to realize something powerful. Not everything needs to be rushed. Not every battle needs to be fought. And not every person deserves your energy. With age comes wisdom, the kind that only life can teach. The kind you don't learn from books or lectures, but from living, from falling, from getting back up, and from understanding what truly matters. When you're young, you think wisdom comes from knowing everything. But when you're older, you learn that wisdom comes from knowing what to let go of. You stop needing to be right all the time. You stop trying to control everything around you. Instead, you learn to listen more, to observe more, and to speak less. You realize that peace is far more valuable than winning an argument. You understand that silence often says more than 1,000 words, and you start valuing your time, not because it's running out, but because you finally understand how precious it is. Growing older gracefully means discovering that happiness doesn't come from the things you collect, it comes from the moments you live. It's not about how many people know your name, but about how many hearts feel your kindness. You begin to care less about being admired and more about being genuine. You stop comparing your journey to others because you understand that every person is walking a different path. You learn to forgive, not because people deserve it, but because you deserve peace. You stop expecting perfection from others and yourself. And that realization alone brings more peace than any success ever could. With age, your priorities shift. You find joy in simplicity. A quiet morning with tea, the sound of birds outside your window, a message from a friend you haven't spoken to in years. You start noticing the beauty in small things that you once ignored. You begin to understand that peace isn't found in having everything. It's found in being thankful for what you already have. Gratitude becomes your most powerful prayer. And perhaps the greatest wisdom that comes with age is acceptance. Acceptance that not everything will go the way you planned. That some dreams may fade, but others will bloom. That some people may leave, but the ones who stay are the ones who truly matter. You stop fearing endings because you understand they make space for new beginnings. You stop fearing loneliness because you've learned how to enjoy your own company. You stop fearing aging because you've realized it's just another word for living. The wrinkles on your face might show the years you've lived, but the sparkle in your eyes shows the spirit that time cannot touch. You become softer yet stronger, quieter yet wiser, older yet somehow freer. You understand that every season of life has its purpose. Youth brings energy, adulthood brings ambition, and age brings understanding. And when you look back, you don't regret the years that have passed. You see them as pages in a book that tell your story, some chapters painful, others joyful, but all meaningful. Because every experience, every mistake, every lesson has shaped you into who you are today. That is the real gift of growing older gracefully. It's not just about surviving, it's about understanding. Understanding that the world doesn't slow down for anyone, but your peace doesn't depend on the world. It depends on you. You carry your calm within you, and no storm can take it away anymore. There's a moment in life when you stop counting the years and start counting the memories. You realize that growing older isn't just about the number of candles on your birthday cake. It's about how brightly you've lived each one of them. Living gracefully doesn't mean slowing down or fading away. It means choosing to live fully in every moment that remains. It's not about denying age, but embracing it with confidence, courage, and joy. Because the truth is, growing old is not the same as growing dull. You can still laugh like a child, dream like a youth, and love like it's your first time, no matter your age. As you grow older, life begins to simplify in the best way possible. You stop chasing things that don't add meaning to your days. You stop trying to please everyone because you finally understand that not everyone will understand you, and that's perfectly fine. You start doing things that truly matter to your heart. Maybe it's gardening, traveling, painting, cooking, or just sitting under the open sky and watching the world move by. You learn that joy doesn't always come from excitement or chaos. It often comes from peace, from quiet mornings, gentle conversations, and laughter shared over tea. Living fully means giving yourself permission to keep discovering new sides of yourself. Just because you're older doesn't mean your story is finished. You can still learn new skills, explore new places, meet new people, and try things you've never done before. Age isn't a wall. It's a doorway to a deeper, richer kind of living. You've spent years building wisdom, and now is the time to use it, to live smarter, calmer, freer. To understand that you don't have to prove your worth anymore. You just have to be. One of the most beautiful things about aging gracefully is that you begin to live life on your own terms. You stop comparing your path to anyone else's. You stop living for others' approval and start living for your own peace. You begin to care less about how the world sees you and more about how you feel when you wake up each morning. You learn that health, kindness, and gratitude are more valuable than anything you can buy. You take care of your body not because you want to look younger, but because you respect the life it has carried. You learn to speak your truth even when your voice shakes. You dress for comfort, you laugh without fear, and you love without holding back. And the best part? You start to see that growing older is not the end. It's a new beginning. Each decade brings a new rhythm, a new way of seeing life. Your 20s might be about discovery, your 40s about building, your 60s about reflection, but every phase holds its own kind of magic. When you choose to see it that way, life becomes something to celebrate, not something to regret. Living fully also means forgiving yourself for the mistakes you made, the chances you didn't take, the words you never said. You realize that carrying guilt only makes your heart heavier. You learn to release it, to let go, to heal, and to make peace with your past. Because every day, you wake up is another chance to start again, to live a little better, to love a little deeper,